Okay. So we are live because we were just having a meeting about how stressed out and not stressed out, bummed out with the weather.
Very blah.
It's
It's
very
very blah.
warm.
I don't know. I know that we're talking to like people that are across the country, but for the Northeast and I think maybe the Midwest, it is June 17th. The sun has not been out in months.
Yeah.
It has been cold. It has been rainy and not like a good summer. I'm gonna forget why we even went live. I'm just gonna bitch about the weather. It's not like a downpour, summer downpour after a hot beach day.
Right.
Like it is a wet, cold mist. It is a whiff of rain as I walk my kids into their school. It is miserable. So we got on our call this morning and we're like, hi, how are you? Like, not that good. Everything's the worst. And we figured everyone else is probably feeling the same way.
Yes. And our saving grace is this is what we said, is that at least we have the Birthworker Retreat to look forward to. We know we're going to get together in January in Clearwater
Mhm.
and Florida. And that is what is getting me through, and a couple other fun things I have on my calendar in the fall. And my mother-in-law always says this, you have to have something to look forward to. And I used to make fun of her, and it's true.
It is true. Hold on. I don't have it like accessible. I could find it, but I remember reading once that you get more joy from anticipating your vacation slash birth worker retreat than you get from being there because the anticipation, the knowing that you are going to be somewhere with your people in the warmth, having that time to yourself. I would argue, though, in our experience, having done this twice already, that once we're in there together, it's amazing. But it does get me through all year long. And my daughter, this is like an anecdote, but my daughter, we very last minute planned a trip to go see my brother and sister-in-law and their kids on Father's Day. And my daughter and her cousin are like best friends. They were born 2 months apart. They don't see each other enough because they live a state apart, but they are best friends. And Saturday night, we're going Sunday morning. Saturday night, I'm like, by the way, you're going to go see Ava tomorrow. And she got so happy. Then she looks at me and she goes, you should have told me earlier. I go, why? And it's because I wanted to know. Like she missed out on all the anticipation of getting to see her cousin,
Oh,
which I thought was so cute. But that is also more
that's
evidence.
so sweet that she has that like awareness
Yeah.
already. But I've been reading a lot about the power of your mind and manifesting, and that your brain doesn't know the difference really between reality and what your thoughts and reality. That goes along with like you get just as much enjoyment out of anticipating and thinking of and dreaming about coming to the birth retreat as you do being there. So you might as well start now. You might as well buy your ticket today so you have the next 7 months to look forward to it.
That's the best. And then, when it starts getting cold in September, you don't have to be like, oh my God, it's 6 more months of cold. It is okay. I can get through the holidays. And listen, this is by design, right?
Yeah.
Is like you get through the holidays and then you hit that January, February, some parts of March, or this year, all the way through June of just cold with no celebrations. And it gets gray and it gets cold. And for me, those are the hardest months. And so it was really intentional that we're kicking off the new year when all of the familial and maternal and business obligations are done. You wrap up your year and you start fresh in Florida with all of us. And yeah, we haven't released this yet. I'm just thinking of this now. But one of the most powerful parts of coming back together for the second
Mm.
year was that people were like, oh, yeah. So everything we did during that first one, all those intentions I set, they kicked off this domino effect that changed my whole year. So we ended up like setting those intentions, creating actionable goals. And we have from, I think, every participant or almost every participant, it was like that was arguably one of the more fun nights, maybe the most fun night, although it was all fun, of the trip where we were in a room and just the energy and support and the putting it out there. It's
Like the
scary sometimes.
declaring it. Yeah.
I'm declaring that this is what I want to do. This, because once you say it, it gets very real and it's hard it's hard to, you can't go back. It's like you can't go back from where you didn't know. It's like before you said that, it was just one of a million ideas jumbling around. And once you say it in a room full of people that will lovingly keep you accountable and are often the exact people you need to do that step. And that's part of what feels exciting.
Yeah.
Part of what feels exciting. Yeah.
And it's such a great way to kick off the year, setting those intentions, creating that momentum out of the rest and the being together. And there were so many people at this year's Birthworker Retreat that are in my doula village. So it's become like a topic of conversation. People are like, okay, remember when I said this at the Birthworker Retreat? Like, here's what I'm doing to work on that. And like, we're cheering each other on. And I know just from talking to them that even people in not in my doula village, like you make friends there and
Yeah.
accountability partners, and people are staying in touch throughout the year. It's going to be so much fun to come back and just see how everybody's doing.
I'm a big fan of standing meetings, which is what this is, right? I love, oh man, do I love a standing meeting where I don't have to think about when. It
Yeah.
really, when you're so busy as a parent, as a business owner, as a doula, when you are so busy, it's really hard to keep relationships up. But
Yeah.
if you have a standing meeting, and I feel like the Birthworker Retreat has become our standing meeting for our group. And
Yes.
it's, I
It's
mean,
on the calendar.
people are like, no, we're coming back every year forever. And we're like, oh, okay, okay, yep, we're doing this forever. Which is so funny because it became something bigger than just, it started as this little thing. What if we just did this? And then it was like, hey, let's do it again. That was great. And now when everyone came back, they're like, no, this is what we're doing every January forever. I'm like, okay, cool. We're gonna write that into the retirement plans.
Yeah.
Oh,
And Jody and I were talking about this. People are writing it into their contracts. People are
yes.
writing it in, like, this is just, they're budgeting it into their budget and building it into their rates. Like, it's just a
That's
thing to do.
That felt like a
So,
revelation. That was Jennifer Tawil, right? She was
yeah.
like, oh no, my clients know because when they sign my contract, it says they understand I'm unavailable for those January dates. Like to build that in, it's such a power move too, to just, I think like, I know from being an on-call doula, it's like, and I hear this so much in the doula community. I can't, I'm on call. And it's, I understand that because I was that person.
Right.
But to not feel like you can step away from your own business that you have created for 3 days, it actually means you have something to work on in your business because that is a recipe for burnout. It just is. You cannot be available to everyone without rest, without a break, without an outlet. You have to be building a sustainable business where we can do this work, where we can serve mothers, where we can serve ourselves, support our own families, support our own lives, but with sustainability in mind. That's one of the biggest risk factors for doulas is that burnout from just being ever present.
Yeah. And I think I love the idea of building in some off-call time into your schedule, whether it's every month, that would be hard to do, but like every 90 days or something, which is why, again, I just counted, this is 7 months away. Like birth doulas especially need to get this on their calendars and into their contracts now for that reason, but also so you have 7 months of the joy of anticipating it.
Yeah. And I would also even, part of me, this is just where my mind goes, but like, also, this is such a great excuse to start a partnership or a more robust backup. You know, I think we get very, I'm going to do it on my own. And we have this way of saying to mothers, and me especially, but also you, saying to mothers, it takes a village, right? You need community. You can't do this alone. And then what do? We all create solo practices where we're burning out and we're 24/7. Use this as an impetus to the clients you take on for January 2026, get somebody to come with you and have to be that backup for you. That's more than just a backup that you pray you don't use. Use it to break out of your comfort zone and level up. And part of what absolutely impresses me and like, I feel so grateful every time we're there is that, and new doulas are welcome, but like, it's not a retreat for new doulas. These are like agency owners and the like long-standing businesses that are just,
You know why? Because
with me.
they figured out how to work a retreat into their doula life.
and to keep running their businesses. They're not off. They're not on vacation. They are taking calls. I think Jay got a, like client calls like during like we
Oh, I
are
did too. Yeah.
running our businesses while we're at this retreat, but they do not require us to be physically present and us to be spiritually and emotionally and mentally present 24/7 every single day of the year. So
Some of them, I just want to say, did look at it as a vacation. Some people brought their families and their kids, and so their partners and kids were off having fun at the beach while we were doing in the session. So it can be a total.
I
That's
remember
something I didn't even really think of the level of experience of the doulas who were there is because they're experienced and they have learned how to not burn out. And that stuff like this is really important.
which also like really the level of conversation and the questions and the like the think tank, like what we're talking about as business owners, it feels elevated and it feels like interesting challenges with people that can share. And that was actually one of my favorite things we did, and I know we're doing it again, is what can you offer, what do you need? And it like it really brings in, there's this unbelievable skill set with each person in that room, but it's not all the same because we cannot, and you have to figure this out real quickly, you cannot be everything to everyone, including to your own business. You cannot be the person that does or knows everything perfectly. You rely on this network of other entrepreneurs and other professionals that are doing it, and then you learn and grow together. And not for nothing, but like also end up striking deals and creating partnerships that you wouldn't have otherwise, and the trust that's built in that room. It's why we intentionally keep it small, and
Yeah.
it feels, oh my goodness, it's so intimate, and it's a really special time and place, and I can't wait to be there. I feel like our rooms look falsely bright behind us for how gray it actually is outside. Zoom is not.
I have my ring light on because it's so dark here.
Yeah.
Speaking of keeping it small, we have, I think, 8 spots left. So if you want to have 7 months of anticipating hanging out with us in Clearwater, Florida in
And
January,
then plans for the rest of your life every January, because once you come once, you're in. No,
go to thebirthworkerretreat.com, save your spot, and yeah, we can't
so
wait.
excited.
It truly is what is getting me through this crappy northern summer.
It's been rough for sure.
After a rough winter, not to just talk for the weather for 10 more minutes,
Like
but
really, I could. And I'm not someone that usually lets the weather get to me. I don't check the weather. But after a while, because I'm like, my joy comes from internally. But not to plug my own book club, but I'm my book club. So we do a book club. You should go on the website. All the information is there. But like my book club is all about the circadian code. And I just gave Darcy like this 10-minute download of it, but
fascinating.
it's fascinating, the science behind light and our bodies, and I cannot wait to talk to everyone about it. But that is what I notice. It's less like whether I care if it's raining, it's just like the gray, I think, is what gets to me more than anything.
So we need some of that Florida sun.
The sun in January, it feels really good.
So reach out to us if you have questions, or head to birthworkerretreat.com. And this is for postpartum doulas, sleep consultants, IBCLCs, midwives, anyone working with perinatal families. That is our definition of birth worker. So hope that you will join us. Thank you.